Hello students. So we are discussing chapter 2, which is word processor, and our lesson 2 is editing tables in MS Word. Editing is a vital task where we can modify our created table as per our requirements. So the topics that will be discussed in this lesson are as follows. As you can see, number 1, inserting a row in a table. The number 2, inserting a column in a table. Number 3, deleting a row from a table. Number 4, deleting a column from a table. Number 5, changing the row height in a table. And number 6, changing the column width in a table. So these 6 topics I shall discuss in this lesson. So at first, number 1, inserting a row in a table I will discuss. So suppose this is a table. As you can see, there are 5 rows: row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5. So there are 5 rows. So here in this table I want to insert a row. So at first you have to put the cursor in any cell in the row above or below which we want to insert a row. So if you suppose I want to insert a row above the row 3, okay, that means the row will be inserted between row 2 and row 3. Above the row 3 means between row 2 and row 3. Okay, so what you have to do, at first put your cursor here in row 3, in any cell of the row 3, not exactly on this cell. In any cell you can put your cursor on the row 3, okay, of row 3. So now I will, as you can see here, table tools option is there. Okay, so watch the mouse cursor here. Okay, so table tools option is there. Now under table tools, as you can see, a tab is there that is known as layout tab. So whenever I will click on layout tab, as you can see, rows and columns group is there. So a layout tab, inside the layout tab there is a group rows and columns. So inside rows and columns there are a lot of options like delete drop down list, insert above, insert below, insert left, insert right. Okay, so here I will click on insert above because I want to insert the row above the row 3. So I am clicking on insert above. As you can see, a new row is inserted above the row 3. Now if I want to insert the row below the row 3, then I will click on insert below option. Okay, so as you can see, a row is inserted below the row 3. So in this way a row can be inserted, a new row can be inserted in a table. Okay, now we will discuss about our next topic, that is inserting a column in a table, and the process is almost similar. Okay, so how to do it? As you can see, in this table there are 4 columns: 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I want to insert a column, suppose between column 2 and column 3. That means on the right of column 2 or on the left of column 3. So any column you can select. So suppose I am selecting column 2. So as I want to insert a column between column 2 and column 3, that's why I will insert a column on the right of column 2. Okay, so as you can see, this table tool option is here, and then layout tab again, and there are 4 options: insert above, insert below, 5 options, delete drop down list, insert above, insert below, insert left, insert right. So I will click on insert right because I want to insert to the right of column 2. So insert right. As you can see, a new column is inserted on the right of column 2 and on the left of column 3. So now if I want to insert a column on the right of column 3, then what will happen? Suppose on the left of column 3, then what will happen? Suppose column 3 is selected, a cell in column 3 is selected, and then I will go to the layout tab, then rows and columns group, and then insert left. So as you can see, a new column is inserted on the left of column 3. Now the next topic, deleting a row from a table. That means how to delete a row from a table. So again, suppose this one, row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5. So there are 5 rows. Now I want to delete, suppose row number 3. Row number 3 I want to delete. So what is the process? Select any cell of that row. Suppose this cell I am selecting. Okay, any cell you can select of this row. So this cell I am selecting, then as you can see, table tools option and then layout tab, and then as we are deleting, so we will click on delete drop down list. So delete drop down list is clicked here now. So whenever I will click delete drop down list, as you can see, there are 4 options: delete cells, delete columns, delete rows, delete table. So we want to delete rows, so I will click on delete rows. So delete rows is clicked, and as you can see, row number 3 is deleted. So row 1, row 2, row 5, row 4, row 5 remains. So row number 3 is deleted. Okay. Now deleting a column from a table. So how to delete a column from a table? Let's see. So this is the table where 4 columns are there: column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. Suppose I want to delete column 2. So at first, like deleting rows, I will select a cell which belongs to the column 2. Okay, so suppose I am selecting this one, and then again in the same way we will click on layout tab under table tools option, and then rows on columns group, then delete option, and then we will select from here delete columns, because we are deleting columns. So I am clicking on deleting columns. As you can see, column 2 is deleted. So in this way, a column can be deleted from a table. Now the next topic is changing the row height in a table. Changing the row height in a table. So in this table, row height means, suppose I am considering this cell. So this cell is a part of row 1. This cell belongs to row 1. So the row height refers to the distance between the upper boundary of this cell and the lower boundary of this cell. Upper boundary means this one, and lower boundary means this one. So the distance between upper boundary and lower boundary is the row height of row 1. So how to change this one? Again, under table tools option, layout tab is there. So in layout tab we will click, and then as you can see, one group is there. The group name of the group is cell size. In cell size, one option is there, as you can see, height. This height means the height of the row. So in height, here one up arrow is there and another down arrow is there. So if I click on this up arrow, the height will be increased, and if I click on this down arrow, the height will be decreased. Let's see. So I am clicking on up arrow. As you can see, the height is getting increased, isn't it? So if I click on this down arrow, the height will get decreased. As you can see, the height is getting decreased. Okay. So in this way, the row height can be increased or decreased of a table. Now we will discuss about this topic, that is topic number 6, changing the column width in a table. So remember, row height and column width, row height and column width. So in this table, suppose we want to change the column width. So let's take a column, suppose this one. So I am clicking on any of the cells that are belong to this column 3. So suppose I am clicking on this cell, and what is the column width of a column? Width of a column, the width of a column is the left boundary and the right boundary, the distance between the left boundary and right boundary of a cell which belongs to this column. Left boundary and right boundary, the distance between left boundary and right boundary, that means this one is the column width of column 3. So how to change this? In the same way, table tools, layout tab, and then cell size option is there, cell size, and as you can see, width is there. This width means the width of the column. So by default it is 1.16 inches, isn't it? By default, in case of row it was 0.46 inches, and here 1.16 inches. So there also one up arrow and down arrow is there. If I click on up arrow, the width will be increased. If I click on down arrow, the width will be decreased. So at first I am clicking on up arrow. Let's see the width is changing or not. Remember column 3, we are changing the width of column 3. So I am clicking on up arrow. As you can see, the width is getting increased, isn't it? And if I click on this down arrow, the width will get decreased, as you can see. Is that clear? So in this way we can change the width of a column, of a particular column in a table.